Hello, this is Steve Thoele, Principal Broker with Premier Property Group, and bringing you another weekly update on the Wilsonville, Oregon real estate market. This update is going to cover the last 8 weeks of market activity, ending this past Sunday, August 28th. So, as I always do, I'm going to share my screen with you now and go through the info with you. So, we'll start off looking at the active listing activity. I show last week in Wilsonville, we only had 4 new homes come on the market last week, so pretty slow in terms of new listings. You can kind of see that's definitely a low for the past 8 weeks. And ended the week with 46 homes in total on the market. You can kind of see that had been building up from 30, got up to 53 over the past 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this last week fell back to 46. The median price and days on market for the active listings, you can kind of see not a huge amount of variability. Had a high of 730, a low of 675. This last week came in at 710, up from 689 here a couple weeks back. And then the days on market, you can kind of see where that's been. Hit a slight high here for the 8 weeks at 24 days of average market time. So, things definitely kind of hanging on the market on average longer than, what we've experienced in the recent past here. Moving along to pending sales. This last week, I show we had 13 pendings. So it was a pretty big week for pendings, slight high here for the 8 weeks on a weekly basis. And ended the week with 53 homes in pending status, which again is kind of a high for the 8 weeks here, up from 50 the prior couple of weeks. The median price in the days on market for the pending listings, you can kind of see it had been rising from 638 to begin with, got up to 771. Has been moderating a bit here, and last 2 weeks now it's come in at 679. And then the days on market for those pendings, you can kind of see that goes from a low of 8, high of 28 here about a month ago, and the last couple of weeks has been actually coming back down to 19 and 20 here over the past couple of weeks. So things taking 2 to 3 weeks to get into contract for the pendings here of recent. And then lastly, we'll look at sold listing activity. So as of the time I put the info together here, I show we had 7 homes cross over from pending to sold this last week in Wilsonville. About the same as it's been over the prior couple weeks, as you can kind of see. Started off really low at the beginning of this 8-week period at only 2 and 3 to begin with, and then a high of 11. And then when I look on the last 4 weeks here of activity on a weekly basis, this last week came in at 32 homes had sold over the prior 4 weeks. That's just down 1 from the prior week, and over the past month, you can kind of see it's been pretty steady for the most part in terms of weekly closings. The median sold price and days on market for the solds, you can see the activity there. We had kind of bottomed out at 585 here roughly about a month ago, and has been kind of stair-stepping up over the past 4 weeks. This last week hit 702 was the median sold price for homes in Wilsonville. And then days on market, it's been pretty steady, bounced around a day or two, but it's been between 5 and 8. So back down to 5 this last week. So the solds have been they went pending really quickly, less than a week. And then finally, we'll look at the weeks of inventory and the sale price as a percent of the original list price. And you can kind of see where that's been. So we had a low of, about 3.5 weeks of inventory here about 8 weeks back. And then it pretty quickly shot up to about 10 weeks of inventory here about, 5-6 weeks back. And then has been, you can kind of see kind of moderating back from there. So, this last week came in at just under 6 weeks of inventory. And then the sale price as a percent of list price, that's been coming down. Had a high of over 103% here about 6 weeks back. And last couple of weeks have been, quite a bit lower than the prior weeks. And I think I mentioned this last week, but there's a few closings that took place where they were pretty significantly under the asking price. I'm not sure what the story was with those properties, but that has kind of dragged this average down. If you excluded those couple outliers, it would bring it back to probably pretty close to about 99%. So again, pretty close to full asking price on all of the other sales that have taken place. So all in all, I still very firmly planted, I would say, in a seller's market environment with only about 6 weeks of inventory, and homes selling pretty close to the asking price for the most part in normal sales. So hope that weekly update has been helpful and informative for you. If so, always appreciate give me any thumbs up or likes, any comments or questions that you have, and if you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure and hit the subscribe button and follow along on a weekly basis, and you can stay up to date on what's happening in your local real estate market. So don't hesitate to reach out if I can answer any questions or be of any help. My number is 503-680-2065. And as always, really appreciate you watching and hope you have a wonderful day and week ahead. So thanks a lot.